Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from a rainy, nasty, sort of icky day in Long Island, New York, waiting on my buddy Jake. And we're going to get started shortly with or without Jake. Have a full schedule of charts that I want to talk about, including the S&P, including Mesoblast, which got a rifle blast right between the eyes by the FDA yesterday. CTIC, which looks like it's in a running phase. It's the runner that I sold a little too early, probably. I might just buy it back. Here comes my buddy Jake. All right. Jake, good morning. This is an unusual hour for us, 12 noon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Midday update, huh?
Midday update. First thing that's on viewers' minds is the nervousness caused by the illness of President Trump.
Yeah.
As you know, he has coronavirus, and you have a lot of experience, firsthand experience with coronavirus. So
Yeah.
I know you're a young guy, relatively good shape, and it was basically pretty easy illness for you, right?
Yeah. It was lost my sense of smell, a little woozy for a day or two.
Yeah.
That's about it. But lost my smell, yeah.
Right. But of course, the risk increases exponentially with age and with other co-factors, I guess.
Yeah, comorbidity, yeah.
Morbidities, whatever it's called. Lynn is with us. Greg is with us.
Hey.
So, so we pray that he recovers quickly, that the nation doesn't suffer ill effects from uncertainty regarding his illness. I hope that he is in shape for the second debate. He might not be. It's too quick, right? The second debate. So
no, he's not going to be able to make it the second debate.
Yeah.
I mean, well, word on the street is that he has mild symptoms. He's been having them for at least a week, so they're still mild. For another couple of days, he should be at the peak of it. So, in terms of his health, I think he should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the older politicians that are in the limelight has contracted it and recovered really quickly. Governor of Virginia, someone from California. There's been quite a few. Romney had it.
Oh, Romney had it?
Romney had it, yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that.
He tested positive. I think he had a mild case as well.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's not too heavy by now, he should be, he should be okay. Plus, they're giving him the best treatment, obviously.
Yeah,
I think he's getting well right now.
This is our buddy, Professor Spike.
Oh, wow.
He hopes he didn't give COVID to Uncle Joe, meaning Biden, I guess.
Yeah, that's unknown right now, right?
Well, they were pretty far apart.
They're pretty far apart.
They didn't shake hands, which was a good precaution. Yeah. And so they were at least 6 feet apart. More than that.
Yeah, I don't think he had it.
Cabinet guy is a very apolitical fellow. He likes everyone on both sides of the aisle, which is the way I am pretty much. I'm pretty apolitical that way. I tend to vote quite a few. I split my ballot almost every time. Put it that way. I vote the person. I don't vote the party. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, the last election, I tended to vote for people I knew because it was a local election. So If I knew the person, Republican or Democrat, didn't matter. I voted for them if I liked them. A very local election, it's a different thing. You really know the candidates personally. On a federal level, you still get a sense of whether you like the person or not as an individual and whether you agree with their philosophies or not. Lynn is here. Did we say that? We said that.
Yeah.
Greg, the mayor of Long Island, the mayor of Stocktwits. Everybody knows Greg. Greg is a good friend of the show. Greg is a good friend of mine. I'm happy to have Greg as a friend. So meso has really got me livid. You know, I vented a little to you yesterday about meso.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it really upset me. It's not just the fact that I took a 36% haircut overnight after having 120% gain on meso. I gave it all back in a blink. I'm not happy about that, but I'm more unhappy about the fact that the FDA acts in such an arbitrary and whimsical manner to turn this down when the AdCom committee votes 9-1, when there are children's lives at stake, a virtually untreatable illness, graft versus host. And the study was for a population of children under 12 who showed benefit. It was definitely efficacy, but it wasn't scientific because it wasn't double-blind, placebo-controlled, all of that. Now, is that the only thing that will satisfy the FDA, that it has to be a double-blinded study in order to grant approval? Open label is no good. Well, if that's the case, why did they allow it to begin with, the design?
Yeah, it's nuts. First time I've seen that FDA go against the AdCom decision. So historically, for the last 15 years, FDA has taken the AdCom decision 90% of the time, and in the 10% where they went against the decision of the advisory committee, the vote wasn't 9-1. It was a lot closer as well. So this is one of the first time I've seen this. It's just absolutely nuts. I mean, but that leads us to where we are currently. So what's going to happen next? The meeting with the FDA in 30 days?
30 days.
Yeah. To basically just talk about, hey, we have to do an adult trial, and then after that, then we can get approved. So how long is that going to take?
It could take a long time.
Yeah, like a year.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they're going to hold firm on their original thinking, if they won't budge and agree to what the original design of the trial allowed for a follow-up adult trial that was double-blinded, placebo-controlled. And the FDA agreed to that. That is saying it's not scientific enough. There's not enough proof of efficacy. They want proof of efficacy. They want whatever, a P-score, less than 0.01 or whatever the heck the criteria is, whatever it is. I'm really sick and tired of statistics, lies, and statistics anyway. I don't believe any of the clinical trials. I'm becoming a real skeptic. I'm thinking the clinical trials for big pharma seem to work much more often. Why is that? Because they're smarter? No. I think they just know how to manipulate better. Maybe they are a little smarter. Knowing the ropes of the design of a trial. But they get their drugs through at a much greater percentage than little biotech like Mesoblast.
For sure.
And I'm really annoyed because it would have been one of the first stem cell drugs to be approved. The only one approved now, I think, is for spinal column or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy because they had PRV as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very upset by it. I'm fed up with the FDA. They're the hardest, we're the hardest country to get a drug approved in the world. Used to be European Union was worse, but now we're worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad, really, really bad.
So what are you thinking? I mean, so with meso, you still have the COVID deal coming up.
Yes, and I think they're the clear-cut winner. I said that right from day one.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't even talking about, host versus graft too much.
Oh, because
on COVID.
COVID dominates the news cycle.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, there's like a 40% haircut. The trial's going to take a while, so there's that. It looks like they have a good amount of cash left.
Yeah, but they don't earn anything, so they're going to have to go back to raise more money now if they have to do the trial. Even though they have money in the bank, how much money do they have?
I can tell you right now. Yeah. Well, okay, so money in the bank, around 100 million.
That's substantial, actually.
The amount. I mean, right now they're burning around 6 million a month. Wait, is that a month?
So they have enough for a year, but once they get into another trial, it's going to eat it up.
Yeah, if they get to another, this all depends on what the adult trial looked like. How long is it going to be?
What the FDA should do with stem cell companies, what Japan is doing, if it's safe and does it and shows some efficacy, you approve it. That's it. Japan is pushing it right now. What does RMAT mean? It should mean regenerative medicine has a leg up. That's what it stands for, RMAT status, right, from the FDA. Regenerative medicine, accelerated treatment, or whatever it stands for.
Yeah.
I really don't know what the A&T stands for, but it's fast tracking any regenerative, what they call regenerative medicine drug. Now, certainly the whatever the heck that thing is called, remesticel, whatever its name is a regenerative medicine. It's a stem cell. That to me, stem cells are regenerative medicine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if you want to join in here on meso.
Well, I nibbled a little.
You did?
I saw the price drop to 11.09. I put in the market order at 11.09. Guess what I got for it? Well, guess what I paid?
What do you got for it?
11.29 on the market order. That's ridiculous.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's up.
I know. I should have gotten less than 11.29.
Yeah, it was at 12.20 right now.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, huh?
So I got a little money back.
Yeah.
By buying when I did. And plus the fact when it gets back up into the 20s, I'll have more shares going forward.
Yeah.
I'm not selling. I'm convinced this is a good company with really excellent prospects.
Seems like it. Yeah, I mean, you got two things, one, the COVID, and then you really got to figure out the design for the adult trial. And
I think they have a preliminary design for it because I think they talked to the FDA from day one about doing a follow-up.
Well, yeah, they talked about it during the AdCom as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was going to be part of the deal, and I don't know why that wasn't the deal. Why that should have been a deal maker. They get that adult trial.
They wanted approval before the adult trial. FDA wants it after. So
yeah.
That's just basically it.
Confucia, I always have my suspicions about the FDA and Big Pharma. To me, they're one and the same. To me, they're one and the same. Big Pharma is the FDA. The FDA is Big Pharma. To me. And I think it's inherently unfair. And it's totally rigged. I'm not paranoid about many things, but I'm paranoid about the FDA.
Mm-hmm.
FDA CEDAR. I've just seen too many fishy things going on, too many strange decisions. There's been a lot of travesties of justice over the years, but this is one of them. But also recently, the court case involving Amarin, another travesty of justice. I mean, that was insane. Dr. Reddy wins that case, and then they win on they couldn't win on appeal. Amarin. That was the case that was unwinnable. I don't know. I dismissed the whole lawsuit as nonsense. It was over a patent, saying that their patent was obvious. Well, if it was so obvious, why didn't Dr. Reddy do it? Or some other company do it? Everything is obvious, and once it's done,
yeah.
Where do you draw the line? I mean, and now there's another company that's worried about a lawsuit. The one that you were in, AUPH, is worried about a lawsuit from Dr. Reddy.
Oh yeah, for what?
Same thing, some kind of patent thing.
Really?
Dr. Reddy won with Amarin. You think they're not going to try it again? Dr. Reddy is a multi-billion-dollar generic drug company out of India.
Wait, with Arunia?
Mm-hmm. Yes, with Arunia.
Oh wow. Huh. Yeah, I haven't been watching Arunia because I was waiting for the end of the year to get in. Huh. IP lawsuit, huh? With Dr. Reddy? That's crazy.
Yep, they're threatening. I don't know if maybe they want some kind of settlement. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, they had one success. Why shouldn't they try again?
Yeah, that's interesting.
They stole Vasipa. Stole it. One of the biggest biggest blockbuster drugs. That fish oil drug is no ordinary fish oil. It decreases cardiac events by 25% when added to a statin. That's some statistic. I feel terrible. I mean, I had some Amarins. I feel bad for me, but I feel bad for those who were loaded up with it.
Oh yeah.
That's something that never should have happened. I don't know why I'm talking about Amarin. It wasn't on my agenda, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about travesty in bio.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just venting.
I was never in Amarin. I was in the Costi for a little bit.
Yeah, he just flunked. The data was not up to snuff. Period.
Terrible company.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, the only one left is Martinez.
So we have Charlie Kennedy saying about meso. Sherry Kennedy. I'm sorry, Sherry. Are we talking about meso? Who are we talking about? Yeah, meso.
Talking about meso, yeah.
Yeah, the heart study she doesn't think will be successful.
Oh well.
I think she's talking about meso, right?
That looks like
they have a heart study, but their COVID results, I think, COVID odds, I think will blow it out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is when. It's always when.
That's what Sherry just said, that they'd be late on that too.
Yeah. Do you think they'll be late? I mean, when are they planning on?
Well, they said they thought that, that would be before the end of the year, that they would. There's a 300-person study. And they are trying to complete it, I think, by the end of the year. Complete the study.
Interesting.
I think the doctors will treat him with everything they got, and depending on the severity of his illness.
Yeah, I think it was going to be convalescent and then the remdesivir cocktail.
Yeah.
Or a little bit of steroids as well.
Probably. Steroid is harmless. Why not just start him on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's harmless for most people anyway.
Yeah, the Trump should be okay. Yeah, I don't think he's going to end up on a ventilator or something like that.
Pete is here from Vermont, from the Green Mountain State. I wonder if Pete knows Cabinet Guy. Pete, you know Cabinet Guy? It's a big state, I know. It's a big state. Yeah, Sherry's doubting that they'll get the numbers, but you know something? They have an aggressive management team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they finish the trial by the end of the year. So I'm going to disagree with Sherry. I think I'm disagreeing.
Yeah, I mean, COVID is always a toss-up, but now that they have this setback, might light the fire underneath their ass to accelerate their COVID.
Yes.
At the very least, just to pump the stock some more, and then after it recover, raise money for the adult trial to get them through to the adult trial.
I'm thinking that the FDA will reverse their decision in 30 days.
You think so? Oh man, I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, they're going to reverse their decision.
Really?
At the day of the meeting. They will come in armed with data, armed with facts that the FDA is going to rethink their position. Plus, they'll have letters from every parent of every kid that has that illness supporting the approval. These are kids. You're messing with kids' lives here. Give them the doggone drug. It's safe. Give them the doggone drug. There's nothing else. Janssen has a drug, but I think it's dangerous and probably not appropriate for kids. Yeah. So it's essentially nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't think the FDA is going to reverse it. I think they're going to come back and they're going to say, hey, well, we're going to do the adult trial is going to be this long. And then they're going to, try to get COVID out the door as soon as possible. So it might be a good play, actually.
Yeah. I think there's a fair chance that they reverse in 30 days. Also, Galley, talking about Trump, is it possible Galley would be used as a treatment for Trump?
Yeah, well, if Galley's used, we won't hear about it. Yeah, and by the way, another contract for Galley is coming. Yeah, they already spent $120 million, right, in funding. Haven't stockpiled yet. Yeah, but yeah, if they are using Galley, it's not going to be published. But who knows? Maybe it will be.
Knowing Trump, he'll tweet it out. I got better using Galley. Ha ha ha. I hope he gets better one way or the other. Don't get me wrong. That's the main thing. Where it gets better. The country can't afford another shakeup. God forbid he gets really sick and we get Pence. You'll see the stock market 1,000 points lower overnight.
Yeah, no, yeah, Trump will be fine. He's actually extremely healthy.
Yeah, he does look extremely healthy. He plays 18 holes of golf. He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, no, he'll be fine. I mean, I'm very sure over the weekend he'll come out over Zoom or something.
Jackie joined the group today. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Happy Friday.
Yeah, I do think for
no matter what time we come on, strange hours, doesn't matter. We get our regulars. The regulars are here.
Yeah. Especially now, everyone's working from home. They're not too bad.
Yeah, they find us the regulars. Can we do share screen and get to work?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Yeah, I was gonna say right now would be the perfect time for a galley update from BioCrest.
Yes.
Not right now. Like Monday or Tuesday would be a really good time.
Yes. Hopefully by Monday or Tuesday we'll get word that Trump is over the worst of it and he's fine.
Yeah, this it's on a Godfather on Trump, and think about it, right?
It's over. When I saw down 55, I saw pre-market down 55 on the S&P futures. I said to myself, I got to get up. I got to get up and make sure I'm available at 9:30 to buy SPXL. And sure enough, something distracted me and I couldn't do it. So I didn't get in on the 3 times S&P for a day trade like I wanted to, like I thought about. And sure enough, it did recover. It's still down a half.
Yeah,
still down
it's not down that much for for Trump getting COVID. It's actually a very mild response to Trump getting COVID, and the job addition number was under expectation. So this is a very, very mild response. And here's my hypothesis. So COVID is like the worst thing that can happen to Trump in terms of getting reelected again. All right, if COVID didn't happen, no one would even pay attention to the election. Like it'll be a cake walk in the park for this guy. Now, him getting COVID might actually help him with the election. I mean, he doesn't have to do the next debate. He can, go out and say, well, even though I have COVID, I'm still doing my job. I'm still showing up for the third debate, or whatever, right?
As long as he isn't arrogant about it and says things like, who's scared of the big bad wolf? You don't need a mask. I beat it. You could beat it. So I don't know. It depends how he handles it. If he handles it with humility, fine.
Yeah, I mean, there is going to be some of the, if I can beat it, I'm a 70-year-old fat dude, then you can as well. There's going to be a little bit of that.
A little bit of that.
Yeah.
The main thing is that it should get better. And the stock market looks better. A, B, C correction, 10%, just like I called. Jake, you said I don't know how to call the market. Well, I called this one perfect, 3,200.
Well, no, I said when you call that the market is going to tank. I
called 3,200 to 3,240 all along.
Yeah. When you call long, you're always right. When you call short on the market, when you get a little bit you look a little shaky, it always turns out okay.
Well, the market's always turned out okay. So for the last 2 years.
That is true.
No correction has been more than 10, 15%. And this is about the third correction we've had in 2 years. So we haven't had too many of them, and they've been short-lived. This correction, how long was it in days? From 9/2 until 9/24. You're talking 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And look at the resiliency today. The 9-day moving average found support right at the 9-day. Mm-hmm. Very nice. I'd look at the 15-minute if anybody's interested. If they, you know what? I'm not going to bother because I'm not going to give my opinion on day trades. I really shouldn't. It's not my specialty, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But when I do, I tend to look at the 15-minute It's the way I. Meso. Down what I called it. I tweeted it would be down 33%. I told you it would open at $12, remember?
Yeah.
Last night, I told you it would open at $12. I called that on the nose.
You did.
And it turns out I made a decent buy at 11.20 something, even though I was annoyed that I didn't get my 11.09. I probably could have done better had I put it in with a limit order, but I didn't do that. So it looked like the market might have been moving fast, and it's possible. It was fairly early in the morning. I think, I'm not sure what time it was that I bought it. But the S&P was already moving up, so I felt I didn't go into that trade, which is bothering me. You see this up Zoom channel? I was admiring it with Professor Spike on Wednesday. This Zoom channel, but today it's well out of the Zoom channel. But even though it had an awful day, look at it now. It's recovering like crazy. The 200 held. And it's having a very nice, it's going to put in a nice candle. It's already 1268, unbelievable. I should have bought a little bit more and I would have felt no effects from this, from the downturn. I missed my buying opportunity. I mean, I took some advantage of it, but not enough. All right. I did write that at 12, it's an accumulate. I wrote it on the meso board. I tweeted it on the meso board last night. I hope some of those meso blast fans are watching today, because I think I hit this one pretty much on the money. And I will not be shocked if 30 days from now you hear good news from coming out of that meeting. It would not be shocked at all. Where do I think we're going in the meanwhile? Do I think we're going right back to the channel? No, but I do think we will get back into that channel sooner than later, maybe in a couple of months, or shorter, 31 days. We could be right back in that Zoom channel. So that's meso. Here's one that I got out of for a quick double. I held it a couple of weeks maybe. CTEC. I talked about it with you, right, Jay? Was it Professor Spike?
I think that was.
I talked about it. You remember Geron was into myelofibrosis. You remember that, right? Mm-hmm. That was in the Mayo Clinic. You were a Geron guy. You don't remember MF? MF was the initial. Myelofibrosis. Well, this company had phenomenal results in, guess what? Myelofibrosis. And they're going to file a new drug application in probably January. The FDA is saying, approval. Go ahead. You're giving them a green light on this one. I think I sold too early. I sold like at 2.25 or 11. What the hell? So 50 cents more. I could come back in. Maybe pulls back a little bit. I'll get back into this one. I think you'll see approval by the early part of the second half of next year on an MF drug for blood, what is that, a form of leukemia, right? Myelofibrosis. That's where the bone marrow, that's the fibrosis is in the bone marrow, right? I think it's a leukemia type illness. I'm not sure, but I think it is.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
And look at this chart. It gapped up like crazy on the news, and it's still going. Well, it pulled back already. It was as high as 322. It was really running. This one could run to 10. Why not? The market cap must be a few hundred million only. And it's probably worth 4 billion upon approval. Let me see what the market cap is on this one. I'm actually looking it up. CTIC. CTIC. I'm a little bit mad at myself, but I can't be mad at myself because I doubled. It's kind of like what happened to me with NIO. I'm still kicking myself with NIO, just like you're kicking yourself with DraftKings. We all have these stories.
Yeah, what do you have to remind me?
Yeah, but we all have these stories. You know, what are you going to do? That's part of playing the game. Sometimes we don't play it perfect. It's hard to play it perfect. You got to take some profits occasionally. Market cap, let me see. Market cap 182 million, not even 200 million. This could be worth 4 billion down the road. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know what an MF drug is worth, really. Even if it's worth 2 billion, that's a huge. Even if it's 10, that's a 10 bagger from here. That's a $20 stock on if it's worth 2 billion. And Geron was contemplating starting new trials from scratch, or not from scratch, entering a phase 2 or 3, a phase 2/3, I think, on this indication, MF. Their other indication is MDS, whatever that stands for, some kind of syndrome. Also a bloodborne cancer. So we're somehow talking a lot about Geron. I ought to chart Geron at some point.
Yeah, I still can't believe you don't get PTSD from Geron.
But maybe I'll get around to Geron, but CTIC, I'm giving serious thought of saying I was wrong selling at 2.25 and getting back in. Just pay the difference. I might just do that. I don't know. The thing is, it was easy to buy a lot of it at $1.10. It's getting harder to buy a lot of it at $2.75. So I might just buy a little instead of a lot. A little is better than nothing. CVM is giving us false hope once again. You know, every time it gets up here, you start thinking $15. And if it does make the 1440, 1450 mark, it just falls right back down inside of this trading channel that it's been in forever. Outside of a few weeks here and there, it's solidly between 1450 and 1140. And I expect, unless 1490 is taken out, I expect this trading range to hold right through data. I don't expect 1140 to be taken out on the downside. I don't expect 1490 to be taken out on the upside. But if either happens, I might do something. Until then, it's just a waiting game. And like you said often, the valuable information is when, and you play it both ways. There were a couple of guys on the CVM board who said they would have liked to come on to play the bull and the bear on CVM. I said anytime they want, they can come. So
yeah,
an open invite. An open invite. So, do you have anything to add? I have nothing further to add on CVM. Do you?
The what? No.
They're having a good day. That's as obvious as can be. They're having a good day. They had a good week, and I'm grateful for that. It's nice to see my portfolio reflect that. But do I have high hopes that it's going to pop before data? No, I do not. And we don't know what data is going to happen. It could be any time from tomorrow till next year. I mean, it's absolutely uncertain. Am I right about that? Total uncertainty. You wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if it was tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a year from now. Maybe a year from now I'd be shocked, but let's say 6 months from now I wouldn't be shocked. athx, an old friend that's making me cry. This is a slow bleed, probably down to $1.56 with no catalysts, no substantial catalysts. Management that looks like they don't know what to do to get the stock propelled. They're going to give an update on COVID eventually, COVID odds. But by the time they give an update on where they are on COVID odds, meso will have finished. That's their trial. I think they're behind meso. They talked about a third center coming on, I think in Ohio, for maybe it was Ohio State. I don't remember for COVID odds. They only have 3 centers that they're utilizing at this point. That's not much. I don't know how much meso has though. It's hard to get customers for this stem cell.
Expecting news on the COVID deal for
yeah, that's the next catalyst is news on COVID. But also Japan will be coming in with news.
Yeah, it might be time to go in on athx actually. Got the December deal.
I think the time to go in on athx is at 156, whenever that date is.
Oh yeah?
I think it holds 156. 160.
COVID news from before then.
I'm very, very negative on athx right now, but yet I'm tying my hand. I feel like my hands are tied with I don't want to sell anymore. I sold half, so I'm just going to ride it out. At this point, I don't care if it goes to $1.15. I'm not selling. I know that's the wrong thing to say and wrong thing to do, especially for a chartist, but I'm emotionally tied up with this stock. And I just can't help myself. The low is 182. If it breaks this low, 156 looks very likely. And so this 182 level, 180 level, better hold. I don't know what to advise people when to get in. I'm just not happy with it. It's breaking below the triangle. You see the triangle? It's breaking below the triangle now. And if it completely severs the triangle, I think look out below. Look out below on this one. They could take it down to a low number very easily. And then it becomes a great buying opportunity. Right now, it still isn't, in my opinion. This is one time I'm hoping my opinion is wrong. I'm hoping it's a great buy right here at 191. I want it to go up, not down. It's just that I think if I look at it objectively, the chart that is, it's more likely to go down at this point than up. Continue the downslide. So I'm not happy with athx. I hope somebody could convince, if somebody wants to try to convince me otherwise, please do. But in the short term, I see little hope. But by 6 months from now, we could be at 10. But I'm not talking about 6 months from now. I'm talking about next week, next month. It looks like we could be in another month of trouble, probably. You want to take a quick, can we take a quick look at Geron for old time's sake?
The
bcrx.
Yeah, that gives me a PTSD, but sure.
No, we'll do it after bcrx.
Yeah.
And then we should talk about some of the car makers. They had spectacular numbers.
Who?
The car makers all had spectacular numbers. Tesla broke all records.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sales. Everybody wants Tesla now, suddenly.
You know, you want to get in, I guess could be a good opportunity, even though they're at a $400 billion market cap still.
They're the ninth biggest by market cap in the country. The top four are Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and wait a second. What's the other one? Forgot already. I don't know how I could forget, but I forgot. Amazon is either 3 or 4. Apple, oh, whatever.
Yeah, well, let's look at bcrx.
bcrx, to me, I'm going to have to add some more. I think this double bottom holds. Technically, it's not a double bottom because this was actually a lower low than this, but it's close enough to call it a double bottom. So I think this double bottom holds, or maybe it makes a slight new low and then bounces back. I don't see the collapse in this one that I see in athx. I mean, it might take us a little bit lower than the 180, than the 130, the 330. It might take us down to 3.25, but I see that being probably the likely bottom. So I'm still adding to bcrx. I'm not as heavily invested in this as some of my other stocks because I see the extreme downward channel that it's in, and it's been in for months. So it's hard for me to put a lot of money in at higher levels. So I'm waiting for the 330 level. If I'm getting very close to it, I'll probably add again. I added at 331. I thought I was a genius, but probably not. I think it'll revisit that area, maybe go a little lower. I would like to see it dip below and then come back the same day. That would show it did come back strong the same day. That's what I want to see out of this one. So yeah, a little dip below the 330 and then come back strong. That's what I want to see. Barrow news is not until the end of the year, right?
Yeah, well, they have until December 3rd.
Okay, and Galley could be at any day an update, right?
Yeah, Galley is Q4, which is now, so any day. Yeah, I mean, the two biggest things is Barrow and Galley, maybe Japan stuff. Yeah, there's been some, I think we're going to get news of another contract with the government.
That would be nice. That would be real nice.
Well, I figured this out. So I think that the market, or at least the institution, who by the way, it's not selling. Matter of fact, they're increasing. But I think they're also waiting on guidance for sales figures. But super smart to attack on P&H news. Most people don't understand what it is. I think there was like 3.5 million share short on that day. So yeah, so it took them 3.5 million share to bring the price down. But yeah, I mean, people look at it, hit some stop losses. People just assume news is bad because shares down. Yeah, it's brilliant actually. What?
There's no reason to not like this stock at 330. There's every reason not to like it from the chart, but there's no reason not to like, if you like the fundamentals, I mean, there's no reason not to buy it at these low levels. It looks like, relatively speaking, a bargain, and it should move up from these levels. Even if it drops down in the worst case to, let's let's see, the worst case that I see here would be 275. I mean, it could happen. 275 it could happen quickly. And if it does, it will present itself with a tremendous buying opportunity. In which case, Dr. J will have to go open up his checkbook at that level. But anywhere near that, I would be a big buyer. I'm not saying it's going to get there. I'm not predicting that. But that would be the worst case. So what I'm thinking will actually happen is that what I'm thinking will actually happen is it'll dip below the 330 and come back the same day and put in another new low, and maybe the last of the new lows. So I'm thinking that it doesn't get down to this level here at about 276. I don't think it drops that far. So what I think happens is it drops into this little white territory between the two lines. It just dips its toes in, says it's too cold, and bounces right out. That's what I'm thinking happens here from the chart, from my experience.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with BioCris. By the way, all of our opinions are strictly on and do not constitute investment advice. Check with an investment advisor before acting on any of our ideas. Also, all the statements we make may or may not be totally factual, because we're human and we make mistakes, and we don't do it on purpose, but we make mistakes. So take that into account as well. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends about us. If they don't know about us, they should know about us, because everybody should know about us. We've been occasionally on fire. Not for the moment, but occasionally. Actually, my portfolio has bounced back nicely. How about yours, Jake?
Yeah, it's about the same. I mean, I'm way overweight in BioCris. I'm not concerned though. I mean, I think it runs up to 450 or 5 before any catalyst hits. I mean, it's the CFO bought it, what, 410, 420?
Yeah, well, I've been loading up on some of the blue chips that balanced it out. And now Biotech, over the last 5 days, has been turning positive. So my portfolio is moving up pretty nicely. I like my Etsy, I like my FedEx, I like my Amazon, I like my Walmart. I've been doing quite well with all of them. Not quite as well with 3M or AstraZeneca. BioNTech, I'm up money with lately. I'm up on the car companies. I'm about even. I don't know. Basically, I've made a nice comeback from the lows that I gave. I'm way ahead on the year. Then I gave back a certain amount, and now I've regained most of that. So that's where I am. I'm still having a hell of a good year. Just let's see how it finishes out. I don't like to brag, really. Actually, I do like to brag. I brag enough, don't I?
No, you need to brag more. Hey, look, there goes the Godfather. He knows everything.
Godfather knows a hell of a lot about bcrx.
Yeah, he knows too much.
He knows too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Godfather, thumbs up if it's a buy at these levels. Let's see if we get an opinion from Godfather. All right. Let's look at the mass companies are getting a nice pop. APT, LAKE, AHPI, I think, is getting a pop. AHPI is more of a traditional mask, right? They're not at N95.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you can take the mask company. I got to drop off.
All right.
Yep.
I'm going to wind it up in 3 minutes anyway, because I don't want to go more than an hour ever. AHPI was peaked over here in June in the 14s, and has been on nothing but a down streak, but has come back of late over the last 3 weeks. It bottomed at 9.8 at 466. It's now $6, up 37 cents on the day. I think this is one we have to watch. We're out of time though, so I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but we're going to come back to this one. I think we covered a lot of stocks, a lot of ground. I think I talk too much sometimes. So let me stop sharing screen. And I want to say I enjoyed having everybody on. Godfather Jigglypuff made it, Tim Kirk, Cabinet Guy, Confucia, Dustin is here today. Dustin's going to use it as a buying opportunity. JW is here. People see headline, look at price, assume it's bad, and don't try. Yeah. Let's see. Nubo had some bad news. I only want to know my opinion on it. Pete said he agrees with Jake. That's why he'd be faking it to create a strong man myth. No, I don't think he's faking it. I think we're talking about Trump there. Gorilla, what WTF happened with bcrx down so much? Well, Gorilla, if you look at the charts, this would be the third time it's revisiting this 330 area. So nothing happened. That's the problem. Nothing happened. And the fact that D was a non-event, as it turns out. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Adios, amigos. See you on Wednesday at 3:30, I believe. And we're going to try to keep 3:30 and 12 as the time for going forward, but subject to change. Nice seeing everybody. If I missed you, Lynn, have a good weekend. Greg, great weekend. Sherry, have a great weekend. Everybody have a great weekend. Green Mountain guys, Pete and Cabinet Guy. Take care, everybody.